All right, story time. How I got my first client. I got asked this in a community that I'm in, and so I was just like, screw it. I'm going to turn this into a whole YouTube video, and so that's what we're here to do. When I first started my agency, let's see. I started in 2022. I had no fucking clue what I was doing. Like, literally had never ever done anything remotely similar. Actually, Cutco. Cutco knives. If anyone knows what that is, it's basically like an MLM, but you sell like knives. I did it for like 2 weeks, and that was my only experience, like hopping on Zoom calls with people and having like sales conversations. Any sort of remote online like business kind of thing. And so I got into it, and I was originally selling GoHighLevel as a SaaS service. So GoHighLevel is a CRM platform that you use to like follow up with your leads, and I was selling it as a SaaS service. So I was just selling the platform to people. I had no fucking clue what I was doing. In fact, I don't even think I had like a really good build that was like worth reselling it to people for. Like now, I could resell a GoHighLevel CRM for like honestly like $5,000 a month if I really wanted to, because like I can build out some gangster stuff, but. I was selling it to honestly just whoever I could find. So I was going in Facebook groups, and I was looking up people's phone numbers. Like I was looking at people's names and looking at their phone numbers and stuff, trying to figure out like if they would be a qualified buyer. So I would go in there. I remember every single morning I would wake up and I would sit down, and I used to watch like the Andrew Tate emergency meeting podcasts, and I would sit there. And sometimes I'd smoke a cigar too. Like that was the kind of time I was on back then. I'd smoke a cigar, sit in my backyard, and just look up Facebook leads. So I'd go and I'd click on people's profile, and I had this method to where like I'd scroll through the people on the list, and then I would like double click on their name, and then I would like open up their name in a new tab, and then go and grab their phone number, and then I'd go on to the next one. I'd sit there and do this for hours, and like some days, if I was in a good Facebook group, I would maybe get like 100, 200 contacts, or like 100 contacts an hour. Some days I was getting like 60 contacts an hour, and sometimes I was getting like 20 contacts an hour. So it really just depended on what was going on. And then I remember I'd make cold calls. I used to make cold calls, and funny enough, I would listen to Lil Baby in between my cold calls. So like I had my phone, I'd like call people, and then like after the call would end, like 2 seconds of this song would play, and then I'd like go in. But like if you ever listen to Lil Baby, he's always talking about like grind and like making money and that kind of stuff. And so it was just like motivation in between calls. I didn't even have an automated dialer back then. I would literally just manually type in phone numbers. And so I'd call people and I'd say like, hey, I saw you in this Facebook group. What's up with it? Actually, to go back even further than that, I know I'm like jumping back in the story. I was originally trying to work with nail techs, and I had gotten cold like lists of nail techs. But the problem was when you call the nail salons, it would be like some lady that doesn't speak English, like some Korean chick who's never spoke English in her entire life. That would pick up the phone and she wouldn't know what I was calling about. So that was like super difficult. Eventually switched to just whoever I could find in these Facebook groups, and so I'd call the phone. And I'd say like, hey, is this John? They'd be like, yeah. And I found you in this Facebook group. And they were like, oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, what's up? And then I would go into my pitch. And so my usual pitch was like, hey, I work with business owners just like you to get, I don't know what my offer was at the time. Honestly, I don't even know how I would offer. Like, I have a system that helps people generate more leads or something like that. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I was saying. I didn't even know what I was saying. I didn't even know what a CRM was at the time. And it sucks because that's like how you have to get started. But the problem is there's so many people that are there, like stuck at the like barrier of entry, or stuck at the entry point, that like a lot of people are like, oh, fuck these marketing agencies. Like they're all stupid. But the truth is 80% of the people that are calling have never, ever ran an ad campaign their entire life. And so that's the unfortunate side of my space. The barrier of entry is low. So like everyone and their grandma wants to try it out. And so I got better at cold calls. I got better at having conversations. And over a period of time, I think I remember I started booking appointments like a lot, like very frequently. And this was probably, so I started in December of 2022. So this is probably about May of 2020. No. This was March of 2023. I'd been making cold calls, booking appointments and stuff, and I was booking appointments with anybody that was willing to talk to me. Finally, I ran into this one girl. She was a hairstylist, and I told her about the CRM, and I was like, "Yeah, you can build a website with it, and you can like have a calendar, and you can have people book appointments with you." And I didn't know really anything about automation at the time at all. And what's funny is, I remember this lady like probably didn't need the fucking service, to be honest. Like she was a very small like nail tech, but I was just like, or hair tech, and I was just like, I can just try to get her to like use this, and we can see how it works for somebody. And I remember she signed up, and she gave me $100. So I think I asked her for like $200, and then she gave me $100. And then I was like so excited. Like I was genuinely like so happy. Like I might have shed a tear because I've been working on this business for like 4 months now. And working is like not working how it is today. Like today, I've been sitting in front of this computer for 4 hours. But back then, working was like, I made a couple cold calls every day. And it's a different grind. Like it was a harder grind, but it was different. Like I got more used to it. But the thing is, like, at least back then, I will say I was like pushing cold calls, bro. And that was my first client. She ended up quitting like 2 days later. She didn't end up using it. Or I think she like ghosted me or whatever. But I made $100. And so I was like, this is actually going to work. This is like a real thing. And I remember that day I put a dollar bill on my wall. And I actually still have that dollar bill on my wall right now. I would show it to you, but like I have my whiteboard with a bunch of shit that's like kind of like personal stuff that I don't want to like put on camera. And it's in the wall with like 4 thumbtacks. But like I promise you that dollar bill is still there. So same dollar bill that from that day when I made my first dollar, it's still on the wall. And yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then I don't think it was probably 2 months later, so it was about May. I ended up getting this handyman to work with me. He was such a sweet guy, bro. Oh, Mike, bro. He was the coolest guy ever. And I remember I started working with Mike, and I ran a Google review campaign for him. And he went from being like, I don't know, like 20th on the Google page to being like second in his town. And I was like, oh my God, there's no way that I like made that work. All because he got like 5 reviews. And because of that, I did like a 2-week free trial. And because of that, he decided to sign up for good. Now, I wouldn't recommend you do a free trial simply because people will just fuck off. Like, I had tried the free trial thing with multiple people, but they, like, all of them had fucked off. In fact, actually, around this same time, I had this one lady. She ran a seal coating company. She wanted me to build a new website. Her website looked like shit, bro. Like, if I could find it, I don't remember the name of the company, but, like, oh, I wish I could find that fucking company. Her website was garbage, bro. It looked terrible. And I built her a new website, and this is before AI. So I literally built out a brand new website for this lady. And I remember I told her she could pay me after the website was built. I sat there all day, every single day for... No, I'm exaggerating. I might have sat there for like 8-9 hours, like prepping this website to at least make it look good enough to like show it to her. And I think the total price was like $800. And she didn't want it. I remember I sat there all day working on this thing. And at the time, like, to me, working was like, go sit at the coffee shop and get a coffee and work for a couple hours. Like, oh man, dude. As much as I'm happy I don't live that way anymore, like, at the same time, I miss those days, bro. I miss the days of like the really, really simple shit. Anyway, back to Mike. I ended up hiring Mike. Mike ended up staying on with me for about 1.5 years, just using the CRM, but eventually he just stopped using it. But he was paying me $500 a month, so that was pretty cool. I had another guy that signed up kind of after that who was also paying me $500 a month. So I actually went up to making like, I was making like $1,000 a month in my business, which at the time was like the biggest deal in the world, but I was still like super poor. Like I had to pay rent. I was splitting rent with my roommates. It was like $550 a month, and that was pretty much it. So I had like $400 in spending money, which back then was like, whew, like that's a lot of money. And now it's like, that's not shit. But oh, dude, those times were fucking brutal, bro. Those times were so hard. But I miss them. I was very like grounded around that time. Actually, my first big client, I kind of forgot about this guy until just now. He was I had signed on this one guy, and I think the total, I was going to run ads for him. It was like, this all happened in one day. So this was probably like May. And I'd also gotten fired from my job too. So some context, I wasn't really working much because I was really focused on the business. And I had broken my hip a couple years prior, and I had gone out drinking one night, and I was just being stupid, and I ended up hurting my hip really bad. And I got a doctor's note and everything, but my boss was like, you're not working here. And to be honest, it was probably for the best. I can't work for somebody else. I got to work for myself. Like I can work for my clients, but I can't, it's different. Like they don't tell me what to do. I kind of tell them what I'm going to do and like how I'm going to make this happen. And so that's what I do. They're not telling me what to do though. I don't know. I've always had like an issue with that. Like and people are like, you have a problem with authority. It's like, no, I just am in control of my own life. Thank you very much. So I got fired from my job, and like the same day I closed this guy. He was in Franklin, Tennessee. He was a small contractor. I closed him on a website, and I was going to run his ads for him. Now, at the time, I was so scared to ask him for more money. The original cost was $500 a month, right? Well, then I told him to run his ads, it would only be an extra $100, and it was going to be a total of $600. Like, that's how much I was going to charge for running ads. Like, by the way, I want to let you know, like, now, like, I will not work with somebody who's going to pay less than, like, $3,000. Like, bare minimum. I just won't do it. Or like pay up front for multiple months. Like you gotta put some skin in the game. You gotta be serious about working. So if you're thinking about buying my service and you're watching my video right now, hearing about my client stories, just understand like it's gonna cost a pretty penny, but there's a reason for that. You can either get gas station sushi or you can get sushi at a sushi restaurant. The sushi at the sushi restaurant is gonna be more expensive, but guess what? It's gonna be a lot better, and you're gonna feel better about eating it, and you're not gonna have the shits afterwards. I don't know. It's sushi. You always kind of feel a little weird after sushi, but yeah, I hired this guy for $600, and I didn't know anything about ads. I'd never even opened up the Facebook Ads Manager, and what I was doing was I was posting content on his Facebook and Instagram page. I was posting, like, I forgot there was this software I was using that would, like, make a bunch of ad creatives. Oh, it was, like, the thing back then, bro. If anyone knows what that is, please put it in the comments. There was, like, this one, I don't know, it was, like, Creatify or something like that. I used to see it all over the place. But basically, you'd put in, like, what you want your ad to say, and then it would make you, like, 100 different ad creatives out of that. And I don't even remember what it was called. It was, like, $200 a month, though. I remember I had paid for the service, and then I, like, tried to cancel my subscription, and it still took money from me anyway, and like I had ran out of bread, and I think it was like I was out to breakfast with my roommate, and my card declined, and I went and looked, and I had like negative $200 in my bank account, and I was like, oh my god, no way, it took the money from me. And like I tried to get a refund. I think they gave me the refund at some point, but like, oh dude, I had no money at the time, and I had signed up this guy, and I remember I went to meet with him in person, so we went to get Mexican together. And when we got there, I got a beer, he got a beer, and we chatted for a while. The guy barely spoke English, and we had a good little conversation. And we decided to close on the deal, and I was like, "Want to take a tequila shot?" Like, because I was like celebrating, like this was cool for me, and he was like, "No, I'm good, dude." And it kind of hit me like maybe you shouldn't do that. Depends on the client. I've had clients before where like we close deal and then we go crazy, but I've also had clients where like you don't do that. And I didn't read the room properly at the time. I was so excited. That same day, my roommate, actually, his dad wanted to build a new website, and so I got my roommate to pay me. This is crazy to think about in hindsight, but I got him to pay me $800. So I had in total $1,400, and I was like, oh my god, I'm rich. Like, it's over with. I remember I went to dinner that day, and I was talking to this guy at the bar sitting next to me, and he was telling me he ran a construction company, and he was like, "You can come work for me part time if you want to." And he's like, I can tell you're like a go getter." He said, "If you want to come work for me and like be hands on with me, you can be my like right hand man." And I declined his offer, which I've gotten offered plenty of jobs before, and I've declined them. And to be honest, I think working with that guy for a summer would have been sick, just because I would have gotten some experience that I like needed. But like whatever, we're here now. Um, but he was like, "How much money do you have in savings?" This guy was making good money, but he was being like cocky about it. He was a young guy. He's like, "How much money do you have in savings?" And I was like, "Well, I just made $1,400 a day." He's like, "That's all you have?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean that's." And I remember he laughed at me and he's like, "Dude, that's not shit. Like, you're not fucking, making anything, bro." He's like, "Come work for me." And I said no. Those are some stories about my first clients. Yeah, it was rough. My first year, I'd say 2023, I probably made in total like 8 grand. So it was a very rough year for me. 2024, I made like 30. Um, And to be honest, I was coasting that year. Like I wasn't even doing anything. Last year I made a pretty penny. I'm not gonna talk about it, but I made a pretty penny last year. And then this year I'm actually on track to do more than I did last year. So I'm finally in a position now where like I'm actually making some bread. I have some good like business partners, good clients, um, and things are going really well now. But yeah, it took a while to get off the ground. But again, like I said, I kind of miss those days sometimes, bro. So those days back then were like, oh my god, it was so like it sucked. Like it was awful. But on the other side of it, it was like yeah, actually, like it was very peaceful. It was very quiet. It was pleasant. And I had this level of determination that I don't have now. Like it's different. Like I'd say I'm more determined now and I care more about this now, but I'm in it. But before it was like straight delusion with no proof. Like now I'm delusional, but there's proof, right? So it's like I'm not that delusional anymore. But before it was like I was so delusional and I had zero proof that this was gonna work, except for like what the stupid people that were trying to sell me shit online were telling me. Right? Like, oh, buy my course, I promise you'll get to $50 million in 2 days. That's when it really matters. That's when it shows who you are. And I'll say today, I'm so proud of that guy for never giving up. Like I'm so happy that that version of me never gave up. And if you're watching this and you're like in the early stages of your business, if you quit now, like the version of you that is going to blink, like it literally feels like I blinked and I'm here now, is going to look back at you and be mad that you gave up. So don't ever give up. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.